Listen, one thing is for certain, and two things is for sure. Misery loves company. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 12, episode 8. Listen, I don't even know no nicer way to say it. Like I said before, misery absolutely loves company. Kenya Moore, you are one miserable soul, honey. Miserable. And you are back to this mess in a big way. Anyway, but we're not going to talk about that now. We're going to talk about something good. Mike Hill. Mike Hill, Mike Hill, Mike Hill. We like Mike Hill. So we first start the show with Mike, and he has his two daughters, and well, his three daughters, because that's how he presented them. I thought I was like, oh, come on. His three daughters, his two from, previous part of his life, and also Noelle. So his three girls, and he had them all come together to go and pick up Cynthia's ring. I said, come on with the ring with the light in the box, child. So that's that, and the girls are all excited. We see some back footage of him actually. He literally led right up to the engagement. He asked permission from her parents and all of that stuff. So this was our episode that we actually got to see the actual engagement, and it was a little rocky there for a minute, but it went off without a hitch. It was really cool. After that, we see a little dysfunction. Portia and Dennis. Dennis is, working overtime trying to get Portia back. He's like, he want that old thing back. And Portia, she wanted, but she just, she's trying to play. She's hurt. She's still hurt. So she's trying to protect herself the best way she know how, but he keep letting her bang her box out. Keeps letting him bang her box out. So, girl, you just go on. You might as well go on and do what it is you're going to do. And don't worry about it. And then when people ask her, oh, no, I didn't, girl, you did. You've been lap rat and PJ's daddy now. That's all there's to it now. And it's okay. Do what you want. Stop playing with yourself, honey, because we see you. Ain't no big deal. Forgive the man and move on. After that, we see Cynthia and Marlo. They go hang out, honey, and, it's... Friendships with Marlo and Nene just seem exhausting. It just seems exhausting. And it does. When you have a friend that's high maintenance like that and they be all over the place and doing all this extra stuff, it is exhausting. And that's how those friendships break up, because eventually at a point you just get tired and you just be like, you know what? The hell with this bitch. I ain't got time for this. It's exhausting. But it's like a battle of wits. Everybody fighting for a little camera time. Everybody fighting for some shine. Everybody wants to be the jokester and wants to make you the punchline and all that old bullshit. Ain't nobody got time for that. And that's what I see. So they're talking and they're trying to one up each other. Well, it's Marlo, because it's not Cynthia. Marlo's that type of friend. And when her and Nene get together, you really see it, that they're like basically trying to one-up each other, and y'all both look crazy. But anyway, so Marlo was kind of trying to get Cynthia together about her friendship with Kenya and how Kenya talks to her. And she's like, well, girl, it's just like your friendship with Nene. It's a thing. Maybe you don't see me getting her together out in public, but Nene knows that I would get her together, just like Kenya knows I'll get her together. Same thing with you. You say that you get Nene together. We never see you getting Nene together. But if you say that you get her together, then fine, you get her together. Whatever. I said, come on, Cynthia. See, Cynthia. It's new Cynthia. This is the chill Cynthia. Cynthia be saying what she got to say, and she just ain't rolling over no more, But I just thought it was stupid. It was like, what was all that tug and pull for? Why was it necessary? Like I said, exhausting. It's exhausting. Listen. I'm just gonna say this, and then I'm gonna get down off my soapbox. this is something that I'll do. And you all tell me in the comments if you've ever had one of these types of friendships where it has happened to me multiple times. So there's something in my personality that actually opens the door for that, where, because if you did it more than once with different people, then it's something that you do. And I do. I let people slide a little too much. And then when I'm tired, then that's when I start to come across as mean, because I'm tired and I've kind of allowed you to slide with things. And I think that's wrong on my part, because a part of me has created this. You have trained this person to feel as though they can do these things. And then when you don't want to deal with it no more, so part of that's my fault. But look, it is who I am as a person. I'm not, when I decide that we are friends and we're cool, I'm not in a battle with you. I'm not in a competition with you. So, and you kind of, like I said, you don't hate your friends for who they are. If you got a friend that's kind of a little bit of an asshole, you kind of give them space to be an asshole, and maybe that's where the wrongdoing comes. And when they start to do more things, then that gets on my nerves, and then I get to a point where I shut down. And that's always been one of my issues, that I there's no need for a big blow up. I'll walk away from you. And then then they play the victim card. And at that point, I don't really give a shit. But if you ever found yourself in a situation where it's the person that you speak to, we'll just talk about it on the phone, and then I'm going to move on with this review. But where you speak to a person on the phone, and then it gets to a point where you're talking, and it's like they're always battling you, like you're always bad. It's like they're going out of their way to disagree with you, and you be like, how did we get here? How did we get here? How did we get close if everything that I say just about you're battling against? Then that means we don't really have anything in common. How did we freaking get here? And then it just becomes exhausting, and then you just don't feel the need to answer their calls anymore. That's how it works for me. Boop, boop. That's just how it works for me. You all tell me in the comments, have you ever found yourself in one of those type of situations where you and a person were really cool, but then it just seemed all of a sudden you're always disagreeing about things, and you're like, how the hell did we get here? And then you can actually go back hindsight, and you can see, well, I let that slide there. I let that slide there, but whatever. Fuck you, child. I'm gone. I ain't got time. Is it me? Back down off my soapbox, but boom, bam, and I'm back. I take responsibility for being the person that kind of does allow too much, and then I end up shutting down. But I'll never apologize about shutting down. The shutdown is real. Move on. No explanation. To hell with you. Psh. Anyway, okay, so this is what, it was just exhausting. The conversation that Marlo and Cynthia were having were just exhausting. Cynthia just bust out with it. She's like, listen, girl, let me tell you while we're here, honey. Did you record me? Are you the one who recorded me, honey? Are you recording me now? I was like, wow. She just dropped that thing and threw it right out there in her lap. Hey, that Marlo got offended, and then her feelings were hurt. And I think that was genuine. She said, you got like a tear about to come out my eye. Like, Cynthia, are you serious? Why would I do that? Because again, Marlo is just Marlo. Marlo's an asshole. And she's like, but I wouldn't do nothing like that. I'm just going to have to tell y'all, I don't find Marlo to be a great actress. I think she's messy. And I think her feelings are soft. But she's a messy bitch nonetheless. She was really hurt. In my opinion, I think she was really hurt that Cynthia even thought that about her. And I think that was really genuine. I said, oh, Marlo. That thing cut her in her gut, honey. But I don't think Marlo's the one that did. I think it was Yvonne. I really do. I really think it was that stinking freaking Yvonne. I really do. But anyway, but it's your fault, Cynthia, because whatever it was that you said, if you're not woman enough to repeat it, you shouldn't have never said it. All of this going around trying to figure out what you said, as far as I'm concerned, you shouldn't even give a shit. Whatever you said about Nene, oh, well, you said it. Nene, whatever. Eat it, bitch. Anyway, moving on. So we go see Candy and Todd. Candy is fussing a little bit because Todd is all over the place. He's working on a Mexican, and I think this is actually a good idea, though, if they can pull it off. You're going to have to get the right people in there, though. The right, it's going to have to be the right folks in the kitchen. It's going to have to be the right types of servers and all of that. It's definitely going to be a culture shock. And if it's not done properly, it is not going to work. But they're trying to do a Mexican version of OLG and call it Ole-G. And I think it's brilliant. I really do. I think it's brilliant. If it could be like a Mexican and a soul food mesh, I think that would be fantastic because, listen, when I went, I think it was the first time that I ever went to Chicago, I went to an authentic Mexican restaurant, and there's nothing like authentic Mexican food. You will have no reason to ever go into a Taco Bell ever again. Like you will turn your nose up to Taco Bell and give them. Their food is just like ours. Soul food, it's hard to even explain soul food. You have to experience soul food. Mexican food is the same way. It's so robust in flavor and texture that you can't really duplicate it. So you're going to have like, I hate to play the race card, but you're going to have authentic Mexican people and chefs and cooks in that kitchen doing those dishes, or it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Don't nobody want no Americanized Mexican knockoffs with no fried chicken. You know what I mean? No, you're going to have to literally really mesh the two cultures. So that's just my bit of advice to you all. I'm totally here for the Ole-G. I would love to go. Anyway, so she's just saying, you got a lot of things out there, a lot of money that needs to be done. Like they were talking about $665,000 to actually finish the projects that he actually has going. And she's like, listen, they're talking about recession, may hit again. I've been through it, and I'm just saying, and they talked about it, and then she brought to his attention, our business life is spilling over to our personal life, and that don't work. So you need to fix it, dude. And he was saying, "What, you want to go on a date?" Yes, Todd. I say that all the time. You cannot not date your spouse. It doesn't work. The moment you stop dating your spouse, your marriage is over. Flat out. Married couples still have to date each other. You still have to do the things that you did when you were dating to stay married happy. You can't not date your husband or not date your wife. Are you crazy? Because see, when you stop dating your husband or your wife, guess what happens? Somebody new start dating them. You better date your goddamn husband and your wife. You crazy? But bam it, I'm back. I'm done. I'm off of that soapbox. Listen, Todd said, all right, Candy, I'm going to take you out for a date. I think you should. I think you better. Silly. Anyway, moving on. So then we get to Cynthia's wine cellar event. And her event's going really, really well and all that. Marlo comes in the beginning. She presents her with a card and a cheese plate that was sent from Nene. Now, it can get a little old because you're beating this dead horse. You're on this. Nene's not here. So here you come with the Nene shit. But it was a beautiful card. It really was a pretty card. And it really had a nice message in it. And Cynthia was touched by it. And so was like a couple other people in the room. It was like, that's nice. Baby, let me tell you something. Portia was so not here for it. Portia was like, No, that bitch gonna have to come better than some cheese and an old note, child. I said, old Portia. And then, child, Kenya came in and she's trying to show Kenya. Kenya just straight hating. And this is where we start going into Miss Kenya. You a miserable something, honey. She was hating. She was whatever. Now, with the Nene thing, I just let it slide because, again, Nene is exhausting. So I let that slide. But Kenya, you are hating somebody, honey. Mike slid up on Candy and told her, hang around, stick around. Because Candy, of course, her and Todd were there like on time. So he said, stick around, let her know something's going to happen, everything like that. So Candy had texted Kenya and told Kenya, make sure you stick around. I think Mike's going to do something big with Cynthia tonight. That Kenya went just as quick, as fast as she could. And says, the conversation didn't even have nothing to do with that. They all stand there talking. She'll say, I think Mike's going to propose to you tonight. I said, we all knew exactly what it was. We all knew exactly what it gave. Kenya, you are a miserable something. And that was just vicious. And then you see that when Candy, because Candy was hot, baby. She was hot like fish grease. She told her about herself. Kenya sitting over there and grinning and skinning. I was like, that is so mean and hateful. So mean and hateful. If it ain't about you, just narcissistic and jealous of everything. You miserable. Your husband don't love you. Your husband literally doesn't love you. That man don't even like you. And you're mad with the world. Don't be mad with the world. Be mad with the choices that you made. You wanted him. He's cute. He definitely cute. This time you went for cute because you ain't had cute before. You had totally downtrodden, and that was a mess. Then you had sexy, but not cute, and crazy as a mother. And this time you got cute, and cute kicked you in the ass, because that's what cute does sometimes. Cute brings heartache, and that's just what Mark has brought. Heartache and strife. He's cute, and that's basically as far as it goes. Not a nice person at all. And as a matter of fact, y'all are two peas in a pod. He is you. You are him. Y'all are two nasty bitches together. Y'all play for keeps and y'all take a lot of digs. You two, you and Mark, are two beautiful on the outside, nasty bitches who messed around and got married. God help you. Anyway, so she tried to ruin the moment, but it didn't work. It didn't work. Because his proposal went off without a hitch. It was beautiful. I absolutely loved the way the girls were played into it, the daughters, the three daughters. And they had this glass heart that was cut in pieces, and the girls held the heart together, and it talked about them being a family, and they had all their names engraved on it. Beautiful. It was really cool, and Mike, you did a good job. Cynthia was happy. So that's that. And that's chill. Now we got chill. Now she's not thirsty no more. So that's that. So the next thing we have is this triple date. Kenya set up this triple date. Okay, it's Todd and Candy, Cynthia and Mike, and Kenya and Mark. Y'all listen to this. Their car ride on the way there, just as tiresome and just as nasty and vicious. Everything. This man nitpicks at everything she says. That's what I say. He don't like her. He does. It's not that he don't love Kenya. He don't love Kenya. He don't even like Kenya. Okay. Everything she says, he nitpicks. He fact checks, and it's like he lives to prove her wrong. He lives to say, bitch. Nope. That, like, he petty as hell. And that's very her, but he got something for her. He tears her ass up. I said, oh my. Okay. But then they get there, and yeah, he's real basically asshole, but when they get to the dinner, now y'all in front of people. So there's 6 of y'all. He in there tearing her up. Just she's saying stuff, he debunking it, making her look like a liar at the table. I was like, this is terrible. And then then they start stinging each other. Baby, when I tell you he had continued on and kept doing it and doing it, they talk about a prenup. He was doing the absolute most. And you can see the other women just like cringing. And then at a point you can see Todd and Mike cringing. Like he is doing the most. He was really getting her together. But baby, when I tell you, you knew it wasn't going to be too long before Ms. Moore, honey, come out. And stinging. She stung the shit out of his ass, honey. She said, you know, my wedding. Because he's going to tell her, yeah, tell him how romantic I was. You know, that his proposal was trash. Tell him how romantic I was at the wedding, you know, for the wedding and stuff. And so she's like, yeah, my wedding was real nice. It was the best day of my life next to me winning Miss USA. I said, oh, never. Never would you compare your wedding day to you winning a pageant. I said, she lets you know you ain't shit, honey. I don't give a damn about you, and I don't give a shit about that baby either. I said, I love her, honey, but I was like, oh, she stung him, honey. I said, come on, Queen Bee. She tore him up, and he was sitting up here like, I said, oh, she got your ass that time. Lord have mercy. So he's like, okay, bitch, I'm going to get you. And then that's when he started getting her at him. When they started talking about a prenup. And he was like, no, that ain't what happened. Nope, that ain't it. No, you never said that. He is just proving, just make her look like a liar. To the point that Mike was like, then he started talking about Nene. That was when he stuck the knife in her back, baby, and got her. Because when she stung him, she was over there grinning like, I said, she gave him the old Maleficent, honey, but he came on back, baby, and gave her a warlock of some sort or other, baby, because he got to stinging her and fact-checking her and making her look like a liar. Then he stuck the knife in her back and lifted her up like Michael Myers. Bitch, bitch, bitch. When he said, oh, you know, I loves me some Nene. And he got to literally big up a Nene and making her look like she was crazy and downplaying her and giving, girl, you're ridiculous. Because if you weren't ridiculous, you would like Nene. Nene's so nice. I said, oh, just turn the knife. Then he was lifting her up and her shoes was falling off. I said, ooh, child, the two of them at that dinner was like the War of the Roses. I was like, oh my goodness. It was so uncomfortable to watch, but it was good, honey. Watching two Kenya Moores, a male one and a female one, honey. They were getting it. You hear me? War of the Roses. A mess, honey. And Mike had even jumped in and basically was telling him, you know, he gave him a heads up. You got to be, you know, have your woman's back. He's like, yeah, I got her back all right with this butcher knife, honey. Lifted her up like on Halloween 2, honey, and looked for her shoes to fall off. Bitch. I said, oh, totally entertaining. But Mark and Kenya, you two miserable asses, honey. Misery loves company. I'm so glad you all found each other. Hot mess. Hot mess.